Previously on the Rod Pedersen Show.
I can't tell you when's the last time I got so serious about something like this Slapshot remake discussion. And we've had some really good ones coming in here. Jeff in Winnipeg, Camilla says the Baldwin brothers for the Hansons. Wayne in Victoria agrees with my Zach Galifianakis as Denis Lemieux. Denis Lemieux, continuons sa saison. Who would be Dickie Dunn? I feel like Elliot Friedman should play Dickie Dunn. But I think that Billy Bob Thornton is a slam dunk as Reg Dunlop, because this is a very, very important role. This would be the role that might define Billy Bob Thornton's career.
It's the role.
It's the role. And I will go along with Billy Bob Thornton as Reg Dunlop. That's how big of a fan I am of his and of Reg Dunlop's, and nobody has come close to anybody else.
Somebody mentioned Steve Carell. Steve Carell maybe is Jim Carr.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
He could be Jim Carr. That works for me.
No. The guy whose idea this was in the first place, Robin Wildey, he's watching in PA. He says Liam Neeson as Joe McGrath. Liam Neeson's way too cool to play Joe McGrath. Way too cool.
Somebody
mentioned John in Winnipeg. John Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
As Joe McGrath.
Yeah. Slam dunk.
Perfect.
Oh, how about that? Get ready for the Rod Pedersen Show. Right now.
Obviously, I'm friends with everybody around here. So one of the security people, you give them a badge, right? And they're big shot.
How about that?
Guy was bragging to me one night. He was like, I denied John Cornish getting into Ryderville. I'm like, what's wrong with you? Who cares if he wants to cut the line? Let him in. What the hell? I'm still mad about that 8 years later. Like, what are you doing?
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to the RPShow. It's Canada's daytime sports talk show, so we welcome all the Canucks and the Canadian sports fans watching around the world. We're on the Game Plus TV network and also YouTube and Facebook live streaming. And listen live for our audio listeners. I want to say hey to all the farmers in the field and the ships at sea. You are listening live. And, you know, my dad, who's not with us anymore, but I used to say it all the time on the radio when I was doing the local radio show and calling games here. I would always say, hello to all the farmers in the field. And my dad would say, keep doing that. The farmers really like it when you do that.
That's cool.
And then I would just throw in, and to all the ships at sea. Just for spits and giggles, I did that.
Because it sounds cool.
Right. And at Touchdown Atlantic in 2019 in Moncton, I had a sailor come up to me. And he goes, you know, I really appreciated you saying that all the time on those broadcasts. I was listening in a submarine. I don't know how.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
That's cool.
Hello to everybody. And we say chime in from where you're watching from today. We always like that. It is hot in here.
It is warm. I don't have my fan.
I just noticed I got a fan here to powder my donuts. We're off, guns a-blazing.
How about that?
Coming up on the program today from Sportsnet Flames, Ryan Leslie, good longtime buddy of mine. We did the World Juniors together years ago. And Tori Gurley, NFL alum, CFL alum, former Packer and Brown. And we've come up with what I think is a tantalizing poll question today, which I'm going to get to in moments. Those are the guests. And just ahead of the quick six show topics, I don't know how you're going to handle this, Darren, but we have some very interesting things going on with another show here on Game Plus called Go Nitro. It's a little like Super Dave Osborne. As a matter of fact, I think it's a lot like Super Dave Osborne, for those that remember. And you play the role of Mr. Fuji in this thing.
In our show? Yeah.
All of them.
Exactly.
So why don't you tell them what went on last night,
Oh,
please?
man.
I'm still not sure what went on last night.
Well, post the photos, and you can tell everybody what you did here. This is you guys on the lake. You were dragon boat racing.
Yeah.
or you were practicing.
I'm one of the ones in the middle there.
Yeah, so he was paddling on the Dragon boat. If you go to our Instagram story, it's all up there now. You can hold these photos up a little bit and cycle through them.
The guy on the right is the producer of the show and normal host, Tori Gurley.
That's Tori Gurley from Sky Cron and Go Nitro. And there's some of the folks. That was other Rod right behind you. They had you warming up. They had you working out. I was a little nervous. They said this is a mid-season practice. So I'm going to read you these text messages.
Who'd you get the texts from?
From Corey, who's he's competed in nationals.
Okay.
At Dragon Boat. He said, the sport's harder than it looks. He said, Rod's arms and core will ache like a SOB for 2 or 3 days, but it'll be a satisfying pain. So how are you feeling today?
Like I didn't do anything.
He said you burned between 800 and 1,200 calories last night, so that's why you're hungry.
I'm starving.
He said it takes 3 practices for the body to acclimatize, so it's worth noting this was a mid-season practice, so that the fact that you kept up was amazing. He said the first practices aren't this intense. In fact, Rod would easily be able to make nationals after a season or 2. His sink was decent. Power was good. Stroke technique takes some getting used to. He didn't clock the paddles or have a Charlie horse from not stretching alongside everybody else.
How about that?
He said the others would back him up on this. He said cardio is 80% of it, so the fact that you've been moving around is good. And then he wraps it up by saying, like I said, he did exceptionally well. He said, my first Dragon Boat practice when I started was nowhere near as strong as his. So most racers at the national level don't do that well their first time out either. So
thanks for the kind words, Corey. Thanks for reading those. And this airs on Go Nitro here on Game Plus, but also on Reno, Fox Channel 5, and Las Vegas.
Yeah, in September.
So be watching for that next month in those locales, getting it going with the Dragon Boat. So yeah, quick 6 show topic time, please, if you don't mind. Thanks, Director Jordan. And I will get to your comments, I hope, at some point here. But listen, while we have time, we have to talk about the Toronto Blue Jays, who beat the Chicago White Sox 3-1 last night. And there was some drama. It was 1 in the bottom of the 8th. But Robbie Ray, enjoy him while we can because he's going to free agency. He set a Blue Jays franchise record for strikeouts by a lefty, 14 last night. And he matched a career high last night, and then he's going to be gone. So enjoy Robbie Ray while you can, because this is his last season with the Toronto Blue Jays. Unless the Jays find some money to hold on to him for next season, I don't know if they will. So are we still on board with the Atkins, Shapiro, Montoyo triumvirate? Because I am.
Yeah.
I am. If they could find another division to play in, it would be a lot better for everybody. But hats off to Robbie Ray last night, and enjoyed your time with Toronto, Robbie.
Yeah, it's just too bad you got to have the Yankees and Red Sox in there every year. You know, and now Tampa has been good the last few, but no, we're still on board. We're still on board with that group, and like we said yesterday, this is the last year where we can brush it off and say they're just kids, right? They're not that focused all the time, or they make mistakes. They're just kids. If next year doesn't go well, then maybe we're
all going to be mad.
Then we're all going to be mad.
We're all going to be mad. This is your past, Blue Jays, but we talked about this yesterday. I'm just saying it's Canada. We have one team. So once the playoffs start and they get into the wild card games, then the divisional games, we'll get onto that. The Blue Jays aren't going to be in it, but we're not talking about that right now. From some of the viewers here, Jennifer down at the Four Seasons says, Robbie Ray's a beast. That's too bad. It is too bad. And actually, they were talking about him on Sportsnet this morning that he might be a Cy Young candidate. Now, but actually, he's leading the majors, the American League, in strikeouts. Second best ERA. And the Jays have squandered it. Can you say Doc Holliday? I'm not saying he's in that class. I'm just saying they squandered a pretty Hall of Fame career of that guy.
Him, and they had Chris Carpenter before he went.
Right.
Yeah.
Regarding the, thanks for the kind words. You can tell who the nice people are out there.
Yeah.
From the CFL Hobo watching in Hamilton, good job, Rod. From Darren Cook, awesome job, Rod. You and Darren rock. He stood on the dock and filmed the whole thing. And as they were getting me in this get-up, some call it a life jacket, I'm like, how do you get me into this stuff? And you said, you're the star. You have to do this.
Yeah.
And I didn't mind it, but it's like them trying to get me to race stock cars last year. Remember what I said? I'm not Super Dave Osborne. He got it folded up into a cube of metal.
Yeah, I know. I know. Then I'm walking around.
It's going to end up happening. Yeah.
Down the shores of Wascana, and I see the scum on the water. I'm like, you're not going to put him in the water, are you?
Stop. I had my mouth closed because I didn't want to drink in that water. So I'm paddling and going.
The
water's disgusting.
Yeah, that. But the only time I really got nervous, and not when you almost tipped the boat over getting out either. And not
That's right.
Dumped everybody in. But when you were getting onto the boat, Emily handed you a big bottle of water. I'm like, well, they're really going to make him work.
Yeah, and they did.
Like they're making sure he's ready. So,
got a lot of new viewers here today. Good morning from Trail, BC. What a beautiful part of the world, the home of Adam Deadmarsh. Hello from Orangeville, Ontario. Good morning from Kansas City. Good morning from Kitchener. We'll move on, but we're just kind of telling stories here today. But I'm falling behind. Point 2, good news, bad news in the Canadian Football League. The bad news is 3 more Edmonton Elks players have been found to be COVID positive. Week 4 was supposed to kick off tonight with Edmonton at Toronto. The game has been postponed. I see the president of the Elks, who, can I say, is a friend of ours because he came on this show and referred to me as his good friend. Mm-hmm. He says that they have not, he thinks they're going to get the game in. And I hope that they do. I don't know when. I think they're just going to scrap it and give the win to Toronto. That would make them 3-1, and Elks get vaccinated. But maybe those players were vaccinated and still got it. I don't know. I don't feel like going down that road today. But I'm hearing a lot of talk out of Alberta that the Labor Day Classic might be canceled because Edmonton can't play in it. That's next week's game. And that will really suck, the big one. But for this week's games, I just want to point out, for the odds makers, Hamilton's at Montreal Friday night. It's a home opener for the Alouettes. Ticats favored by 2.5.
I know.
They haven't won a game. The odds, well, who am I to say? Last week, I don't think I picked one game right, other than Saskatchewan.
I know. It's incredibly difficult.
BC at Ottawa on Saturday. The Lions are favored by 5 in the nation's capital. And then Sunday, Canada's game of the week is the Calgary Stampeders at the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. And the Bombers are favored by 5.0. So that's the bad news on the Elks. This is the good news on the games that are going to play. And can we move on? Point 3. The very first notification, it triggered a bunch yesterday in the NFL, was that Trevor Lawrence has been named the starting quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars, which I still don't think is a shock. Although I guess that it is. You look at all those quarterbacks that went in the first round last year. Zach Wilson starting for the Jets for sure. I don't think Trey Lance is going to start for the Niners.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Be Jimmy Garoppolo probably. Andy Dalton, I think, starting in Chicago rather than Justin Fields, correct? You're following all of this?
Yeah.
We still don't know in New England with Mac Jones. But you go number 1 overall, I think you can probably count on starting if you're Trevor Lawrence. I don't know why that's such big news. But I saw the Jaguars have been, since 2014, this probably won't surprise you, the worst team in the NFL. The worst team, the Jaguars. Would that surprise you or not? Going back 7 years, 8 seasons.
No. I've watched them a lot, obviously, being in the same division as Tennessee.
Right.
Yeah.
The Cleveland, also worst in the last 7 years. The Jets, and I think the Giants. I think it was the Giants. And how sucky that is for New York, which, believe it or not, I've spent enough time there in the Big Apple. Football's still number 1. The Giants and Jets, it's still number 1. And their 2 teams have been the worst in the NFL for the last 2 of the 4 worst for the last 7 years. They deserve better in New York.
They really do. And I think it's coming, but they really deserve better. Both those teams are on the upswing, as we saw towards the end of last year. I mean, and with the Jets now, another new quarterback, new coach. You hope they're on the upswing. We know the Giants are, but we hope that the Jets are too.
Michael Gregory, watching on YouTube, says, good morning from New Orleans. Looks like a hurricane is on the way. Don't say that. Which hurricane is this?
Yeah.
It's not Henri, right? That's belting the Northeast. Is another one coming up in the Gulf?
As long as it doesn't cut your internet, man, and you can still watch the show while you're bunkered down.
Ooh, that would suck.
Yeah.
How about that?
Oh, CFL Hobo. I mentioned the gentleman watching in Hamilton. His name's Jason Mullis, and I met him at Touchdown Atlantic in Moncton. And he says, I've hit 10 CFL stadiums in the past 30 days driving. Thanks for the shout-out. 2 years popped up on the memories today. Those Facebook memories. 2 years ago today, I met this guy in Moncton at Touchdown Atlantic. How about that?
How about that?
Unforgettable. He is, not me. Point 4, Teddy Bridgewater has been named the starting quarterback for the Denver Broncos. They should have traded for Aaron Rodgers. What do you think?
Yeah, and I was talking with a couple of Broncos guys in our sales meeting we had yesterday, and they were asking about Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater, and are you happy? And the one guy said, I just don't trust anybody that throws with a glove on. And that's Teddy Bridgewater.
Right. Or Kevin Glenn.
And they should have given it to Locke, let him finish what he started, see if he's capable. But it doesn't matter what happens this year. They're just going to sign Aaron Rodgers next year when his time with Green Bay is up.
Right.
So maybe it's a throwaway year for Denver. That's what I'm understanding from the Bronco fans.
There's such a thing as throwaway years.
Apparently.
We didn't feel great as a Vegas Golden Knights fan that Game 1 against Colorado was a throwaway game, which it was, and we lost 7-1 to the Avs and stormed back and won it in 6.
But that's such the Broncos' MO. Take a Pro Bowl, Hall of Fame quarterback. Did it with Peyton Manning, right, for a year, won a Super Bowl. They'll probably do it with Aaron Rodgers.
They'll take it.
They'll take it.
On the topic of NFL quarterbacks, that's our poll question today for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center. Who will lead the National Football League in passing in 2021? And your options are Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, or Josh Allen. Those are the 4 that we all came up with. And Mahomes is leading on both Twitter and Facebook. So I think we got the right one, guys. The right 4 anyways. Patrick Mahomes of the Kansas City Chiefs. By the way, I went and looked up the odds. Let me back up. Who do you think led the NFL in passing last year? You would, for $1,000, you wouldn't get it. You can take that off. It was Deshaun Watson, okay?
Yeah.
And he's not even going to start this year. What an off-season for one Deshaun Watson.
I know. Matt Ryan was pretty high, but he doesn't have Julio Jones. He's not leading the league in passing.
Here are the odds.
Yeah.
From bettingpros.com. Number 1, Patrick Mahomes, projected to lead the National Football League in passing. Number 2, Dakota Prescott of America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. But I don't think he's going to stay healthy, just like last year. I wouldn't put my money on Dakota Prescott, and he is the quarterback of my team. Then Josh Allen of Buffalo, then Tom Brady at 4, Aaron Rodgers 5, Matthew Stafford 6, Justin Herbert 7. So it's quite a list there.
Yeah.
And the smart money is on Patrick Mahomes.
Well, I look back, you said last year, how about in 2019? I'm like looking at that list, and that's even harder to get because the top 2 passers in 2019 in the NFL, Jameis Winston was number 1 with over 5,100 yards, and Dak Prescott was number 2, just shy of 5,000. Jared Goff was number 3. So Jameis Winston's going to play. He's going to start probably in New Orleans. If you want some off-the-board flyer to try and win some money, put $20 down, I'd put it on Jameis Winston. He looked pretty good in the preseason, and I know that's preseason.
From viewers of both YouTube and Facebook, they have pointed out that Bo Levi Mitchell throws with a glove. Exactly. What did the Moose say? Don't trust anybody who throws with a glove. And one more. Oh, from Randolph watching in Ontario. He says, Rod, how do you define the color TV era? Well, I just did a quick Google search. Color TV was apparently invented in 1939. What I would say, how do I define it? When it was mainstream somewhat in people's homes. So let's say the 1970s is a decade. And you know why he's saying that? I said because the Cowboy fans are not like the Leaf fans because we've won championships in the color television era. It's not a joke. 1970s. Leafs, 1967, black and white.
I see.
It's my rules.
Your show,
it's
your rules.
my show. Ryan Leslie next as we are going to talk some hockey. And I'm going to be a lot happier when hockey starts. Oh, yeah. Just an FYI. You are watching the RP Show. This has been the warm-up, as always, brought to you by our friends at E-Cold Electric. E-Cold Electric, stop by and see our new data and lighting center in Regina. E-Cold Electric, let's get to work. We're going to Calgary next. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus television network, are carried all across Alberta on TELUS Optic TV. Also, YouTube and Facebook live streaming and 24-hour sports radio. For Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445. In today's fast-paced world, we know you don't always have time to cook a nutritious meal. The Mad Greek in Moose Jaw's got you covered with delicious takeout and delivery specials, even for large groups or occasions. Authentic Greek cuisine, pizza, ribs, and more. There's something for everyone to enjoy. Offering licensed dining delivery, and their takeout window is open to get your Greek to go. For more information and to view the online menu, visit themadgreekeatery.com.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Just ahead of Ryan Leslie from Sportsnet Flames. Just taking care of a little business here, a little house cleaning from our viewers regarding when do I say the color television era. William in Lloydminster watching says, we got our color TV in 1971. See? Exactly. The 70s is the era where it came in, I feel. From Jeff Caldwell on Facebook, I need to drink more Caliber coffee. I thought Darren was Jason Sudeikis sitting there.
Wake up.
You get that every day, multiple times.
I do get that every day, but the Caliber coffee is amazing.
From Cinny Girl, she says, good afternoon, gentlemen from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Let's make this day fabulous. I agree. Let's win the day. And a great way to do that is bringing in the fabulous Ryan Leslie from Sportsnet Flames. Let's do it. What's up, buddy?
Roddy, and that Sudeikis, if I'm saying that right, that's a great pull. Great hair, by the way. He has got some flow over there.
Thanks, pal.
Small
Sick
envy.
flow.
Thank you.
Right, and bought and paid for over here. Ryan, how's the...
I remember those days. Anyway.
That's right. How's the summer going out there in southern Alberta and the foothills?
Pretty good. I mean, I think everybody's starting to, kind of turn an eye towards the upcoming season. There's still a lot of questions, but it's been a good summer. The smoke is cleared for now, and we hope everybody, all of our friends in BC and Alberta are done with that. So it was a bit tricky, Roddy, to be honest with you. It was a hot, dry summer here in southern Alberta, and the fires in BC and parts of Alberta didn't help. But hopefully that is, going to be behind us here as we turn an eye to flipping seasons and maybe even talking some hockey here soon.
Well, and I'm going to get to the Flames on the ice in a moment. But and by the way, notice the jersey that we have adorning our desk, and that'll be staying there for quite some time. Biggest news out of Calgary, I feel, was the vaccination proof that's going to be required to go to Flames and Stamps games, and I would assume Hitman and Roughnecks. I have no problem with that. I'm totally in favor of that. I applaud Winnipeg for doing it, and now everybody's following suit. What was the reaction from the fans?
Well, as you know, I mean, if you want negative reaction, you go to social media. If you want to have maybe and I don't know what kind of percentage that is in terms of the big picture. I don't imagine it's huge, but certainly there's a conversation going online about it, good, bad, and ugly. But it was one that the Calgary Flames felt they had to do, and one that they're entitled to do. And, I think there's a lot of backlash, but it is their product. It is their building. It is something that they have the right to do. So I think the reaction is probably positive in the bigger picture, but I think if you want to find any sort of backlash, you can find it.
Well, on the hockey, on the ice, on Monday, the NHL announced its preseason schedule. That was probably a nice feeling for you. Are you starting to feel it a little bit?
Yeah, we're still waiting to find out how it's going to look, Roddy. I don't know at this point, to be completely transparent with you, what it's going to look like from a broadcast standpoint. I don't know how much travel will there be, what will travel look like? Will it be commercial? Will it be charter? Will it be a mix of these remotes like we did last year? So there's still a lot up in the air as we start to ramp up towards it, but there's time, and there's a lot of faith in the powers that be, and from the league to Sportsnet, where I work, to the Flames organization, that there will be a solution that's best for the viewers, the fans, and certainly us as broadcasters. So I'm personally really hopeful that we return to normal travel. We will see how it unfolds, and we'll deal with the hand we're dealt.
So one of the viewers wrote in, the general in Calgary says, why hasn't Gaudreau been signed yet? But I'm looking at the Flames list of free agents, and I don't see him on it. Is it expected that Johnny Hockey's going to sign a new deal, or what's the status there of him?
There have been ongoing conversations about Johnny Gaudreau, who has another year left on his contract. He is about to get married September 4th, but that dialogue continues between Brad Treliving and Louis Gross, his agent. And certainly, I think everything's on the table. Anybody who tells you right now, Rod, that there is one direction or another doesn't know. They may feel that Johnny's gone, or Johnny's re-signing, or we're going to play this thing out, or perhaps a deadline deal or a move in season. That's simply not the case at this point. Everything is still on the table. And I would like to see this player. If the value in a trade is not there, I would love to see this player re-sign here. He is a player that's going to get you into the postseason. You still need that the last time I checked. This is a player who has offensive capabilities. This is a player who enjoys being in Calgary. And this is a player who can help get you there. And I think that's essential. So however this thing shakes down remains to be seen. But this is a very valuable asset for Brad Treliving.
Oh, no doubt. And by the way, I'd mentioned, believe it or not, a few weeks ago on this show that I didn't think the Flames had done enough this offseason, and I just got roasted by Flames fans. And they said, we signed Blake Coleman. We signed Tucker Pullman, the Fox News host. That's not a lot to me. How do you feel about their offseason?
It's not a lot, but you've got to remember it takes two to tango, and you've got to be able to. It's real easy to go out and make a move if you're okay with not caring about the return. But Brad's hands are really tied at this point. There's got to be a market for the players that everybody thinks should just be moved or brought in, and it's really hard right now. So it's also not expired. He's still got some time to pull this thing off, and so. What kind of move? I think everybody knows that the Eichel situation, the Eichel conversation, people are hungry here. Treliving understands that. I think the fan base understands more needs to happen. I think the players themselves know that more needs to happen. There is time. We're still here in August at this point, late in August. But you've also got some pieces brought in. You've got some players who are about to take a next step. I'm not going to sit here and defend what has or what hasn't been done or be an apologist or a super fan. I will just tell you that there's time. This is a good core. And I think I understand the appetite for wanting to bolster the lineup a little more. And I don't think anybody is wrong in thinking what else is there. And I think Treliving continues to grind away, continues to day-to-day look to bolster the lineup. But you got to think about the market and who wants what and what they're willing to give you in return. You've got to kind of step back a little bit and go, it's just not that easy.
Yeah, well, I watch all of the Flames games and I watch you guys' panels specifically for you, Ryan. But I've some of the commentary's been scathing, not from you, but Eric Francis. I get the sense that everybody feels something's missing, right? So I just wonder how that will be addressed. But some questions from our viewers, if you don't mind, from Ryan on YouTube. Rod, what's Ryan's take on the Calgary Sports Entertainment Group without the Stampeders? Does that rate on your radar at all, Ryan, the potential sale of the Calgary Stampeders from that ownership conglomerate?
Apologies, but it's not. And I don't mean that to be negative. I just mean, I don't think I can properly dig into all of the challenges of owning a CFL team and all of the factors that go into the Stampeders and what that can do for the entire organization. I know the Flames have been, wildly committed to the Calgary Stampeders and their success on and off the field. So I do know that much. What it looks like going forward, I can't say in terms of whether or not it'll sell, whether or not they're going to get rid of it, if they're potential buyers. I'm simply not in that circle enough. So apologies to the viewer with that question, which is a good question, just probably suited better for someone else.
Yep, absolutely. Nicely handled, by the way. From Ryan McCarthy in Saratoga, New York. From one Ryan to another, if the Flames can't sign Johnny Gaudreau, could the New Jersey Devils be a potential trade partner? Gaudreau was born and raised in New Jersey. Are these things coming up? Is there talk of that?
I think that's always the go-to, right? Hey, why don't you just have a conference call with the Devils, the Rangers, and the Flyers, and just see who gives you the most. Let's just see if we're having an open auction. That's simply not the case. John's put his list of 5 teams forward. Anything's possible, but there's got to be some teams who in that area who would sit there and I don't know, maybe naively think, well, if he doesn't re-sign, we might just get him anyhow. So why make a move when he could potentially sign here as a free agent down the road? That's maybe a gamble they're willing to take. But as the player, he wants to probably have some security. So is that an option? Certainly. Is that probable? I don't know if I'd say probable. I'd have to dig into, where the Devils are right now. I'd have to look at, what would either be coming back via the trade route. But certainly as a free agent, you never know. John's going to have to look at his future as well, and I know he is. I also know he's happy in Calgary. So we'll see how this one plays out, but I think that's the empty netter, New Jersey, Philly, and the Rangers, and maybe even the Islanders, and hey, don't ever sleep on the Boston Bruins down the road. But, you've got to start factoring in. Does he want to take a little less to play somewhere where he wants to be? Does he want to re-sign in Calgary and get more? Does he want there's a lot of variables, and that's probably why we're here still talking about it at the end of August this year.
God bless you for talking about it, because I know you talk about it, I'm sure, every single day in that market. Jeff Kabilis in Winnipeg says, Flames goaltending a worry? I would hope not. You got the number one free agent in Jacob Markstrom going into last year, but I would like to know your take on if he lived up to his deal. Ryan, how did you feel he played last season?
Well, his deal is long-term. His first season was a real mix of, whoa, this looks good. Is this the best goaltender early on in the North Division, to an injury that took him right out of it? He never really bounced back into the goaltender that I think everybody saw the season prior, at least the postseason prior. This is a goaltender who, Rod, if you ask anybody in the National Hockey League who's either been around him, played with him, or knows anything about him, fiercely competitive, fierce presence in the locker room and on the ice. The guys love playing in front of him. That's one area I'm not concerned about at this point heading into the season. And I'm quite certain when he returns here, you're going to see a bounce back from that goaltender. So that's a valid question that I think a lot of people are like, oh, wait a minute, what did we just sign up for long term? That's not a concern of mine at this point.
Yeah, me either. But it is a lot of money. But I don't even think he could have been the best goalie in the NHL, and I don't think he would have got the Flames into the playoffs.
You know what, too? You know what, Roddy? Like, if they didn't go that route, there'd be the critics, again, throwing darts. Where are the Kari Ramos? Where are the Jonas Hillers? Where are the 1 and 2 years? Where are the Mike Smiths? All of these situations where they haven't been stable long-term since, dare I say, Mika Kiprasov, and there's probably a couple other guys just off the top of my head since then who have had longer terms or come back for a long period of time after a contract or two. But this was a goaltender that I think for the most part people were genuinely excited about. And I think there's enough time to prove it. So it doesn't matter what they say or do, unless you win the Stanley Cup, there's going to be arrows, slung. And I get that. But I just think that there's bigger concerns with the Flames than goaltending. And, there was some concerns about bringing in a guy like Chris Tanev, who was an absolute warrior and played through all kinds of pain that hasn't even gone public yet. And so those two additions, I think, are going to prove to be real solid additions, not only last year, certainly for Tanev, but going forward. And I think that those are leadership guys, not necessarily, Tanev in the rah-rah vocal, but by example. And I think in Markstrom, you've got a little bit more of a vocal leader and two guys with presence. And most importantly, as you know, Rod, respect in the room. And that is really huge. And they do it on the ice so well. And I think those are two signings that Brad Treliving can sleep well at night after bringing them on board.
Yeah, and by the way, you're right. Kiprasov was the last one. That's the last thing they need to be worrying about is goaltending right now. We got 60 seconds, Ryan. The viewers want to know how you think the Jack Eichel story will end. What do you think?
That is the million-dollar question, because as you've probably beaten up to death on this show, there's so much risk. The ask is very high in return for a player like Jack Eichel, who you don't know. It's buyer beware. And he hasn't had the surgery yet. So how this thing plays out, I don't know. I think he will be dealt. But is this in the new year kind of thing? It might have to be. It's an ugly situation. It's one that there are a lot of balls in the air. It's one that has a lot of uncertainty. And I don't think anybody's happy about where it is today and where it might be in the next month or so, because until they get this surgery situation hammered out, is it going to be one Jack is happy with? Is it going to be one the Sabres are happy? What about the new team? How long do they have to wait to get them? And what are they going to have to give up? It's steep right now, Rod. It's really steep. And I can tell you, knowing what it is on the Calgary side of things, I wouldn't pay it. So it remains to be seen.
Nice work. Hey, you're like Jerry Seinfeld. We're leaving them wanting more, Ryan, because there's a ton of questions that have come in, but we are out of time. If I may, you're looking fantastic, man. Looks like you've had a great summer. Enjoy the rest of it, and we'll see you in a month. Yeah, thanks. I
know. I've seen the post. You look great, bud.
Thank you, pal.
Have a great show. Thanks for having me, as always.
Thanks, man. The great Ryan Leslie from Sportsnet Flames from Calgary. Let's do a viewer takeover the rest of the way. When we come back, we'll have 24 minutes to go. Just an hour one. You are watching the RP Show on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube, and Facebook live streaming and 24-hour sports radio. For Suds, full-service car wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
At Core Grain, we strive to be the most qualified grain storage and grain conditioning experts in Canada. Visit us today at coregrain.ca. Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Our parents always taught us about the importance of quality of work and friendly service. And here at Suds Car Wash, we're a family-run business, so it's really important that our customers feel like family.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
At Capital GMC, we don't just sell vehicles, we buy them too. You know how we always have such a big inventory with an amazing selection? That's because we buy all makes, all models, and all years. We're going to give you the best price every time. And you don't even have to buy from us. All you have to do is visit us online or in-store, answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll get you a great offer. We'll even cut you a check on the same day. So save yourself the hassles of selling privately and sell it to us. Because at Capital GMC, we'll buy it.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Safety is a primary pillar at Core Grain. We have core certification. Our workers are following best practices in the industry for safety. We always want to make sure that our contractors, us here at the shop, and our customers can come to work and go home at the end of every day. Give Core Grain Systems a call today.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Welcome back, everybody. Episode number 558 of Canada's daytime sports talk show continues. We do love our streaming viewers' comments. Jordan Ewart is watching on YouTube, and he just wrote in and said, is YouTube beating Facebook for show viewership? Oh, yeah, by a mile, brah.
Let's go, Team YouTube. Team YouTube.
Team YouTube.
Come on down to YouTube.
Come on down to YouTube. We got the smoke.
Which, by the way,
Willie Jefferson's all over that.
He's all over it. He replied.
Yeah, he did reply. Thank you, Willie J. in Winnipeg. Love me some Willie Jefferson. We are very close to moving on from Facebook altogether for our streaming because we do it with YouTube as well. And YouTube it's smoking Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
So. Sports update. Alejandro Kirk broke a tie with an RBI single in the 8th inning, and the Blue Jays beat the Chicago White Sox 3-1 at Rogers Center last night after Blue Jays starter Robbie Ray matched his career high by striking out 14 over 7 innings. Tim Meza worked a perfect 8th for the victory, and Jordan Romano finished for his 13th save in 14 outings. Jays White Sox get after it 3:07 Eastern today at Rogers Center, the 4th and final game. The Orioles snapped their 19-game losing streak. How about that? rallying to beat LA 10-6 after a shaky start by Shohei Ohtani left the Angels bullpen with too much to do. The Angels were up 6-2 in the fourth inning and 6-4 when Ohtani left the game after 5. But Baltimore scored a run in the 7th and 5 in the 8th. Former Blue Jay Josh Donaldson did his old team a favor when he hit a 2-run homer to lead off the 10th and give the Minnesota Twins a 9-6 win over the Boston Red Sox. The bringer of rain. Do you get hurt when you see him in highlights playing for another team? Because I do.
Yeah.
I never really understood why he left.
I know. Those are the characters. You know, you had those 2 great years, and then everybody leaves.
He became a Band-Aid at the end.
Yeah.
Canadian women's hockey team captain Marie-Philippe Poulin won't play today against the United States at the World Championship after blocking a shot with her chest in Canada's last game. Canada and defending champion U.S. are tied atop Pool A at 3-0. Did you see the shot? Oh, it was ugly. Canadian tight end Luke Wilson said he's stepping away from football one day after re-signing with the Seahawks. In a lengthy statement on social media, Wilson says he realized it was time to move on after being back in the building and participating in practice with Seattle. Wilson said he spent time in the hospital during the offseason due to a pericardial effusion. He said the hospitalization changed his perspective on his life. The sports update for the Tap Brew House and drive-through liquor store, for Ballers Rec Room, home of the 4-hour Rough Riders tailgate parties, and for Red Bull Canada. Red Bull gives you wings. I was not aware of that Luke Wilson story, that he was hospitalized with pericardial effusion. Doesn't sound good.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. As long as he's happy. I read the statement. Good for him. He's an entertaining guy. He's done some work with TSN, Super Bowl week, that type of thing. He'll land on his feet, I'm sure, in a media role like that, probably with TSN. So good for him.
I said that we were going to start viewer takeover early, and we are. Now up until the top of the hour, what would you people like to talk about? Anything. Darren was noticing that the viewers really seemed to gravitate to the interview with Ryan Leslie. They really enjoyed the hockey talk. And like I say, I'll be a lot happier when hockey starts. I was supposed to be going out to a hockey game tonight, an intra-squad game, and then something's come up. I will be spending time with a sponsor of the program tonight, which is going to be fun, too.
That is always good.
By the way, the Prairie Mobile text line is open for your questions and comments, 306-840-8777. That is 840-8777. Prairie Mobile is your authorized SaskTel mobility dealer. I'm just going to crack open the lid of this can of worms and then close it real fast, okay?
Okay.
Brady writes in from the 306, hey, Rod, on this day back in 2016, Colin Kaepernick made headlines by kneeling in protest during the USA National Anthem at San Diego's Qualcomm Stadium, objecting to racial injustice and police brutality. Ahead of his time, or did he sabotage his own career? I said I was going to close the lid on that can of worms, didn't I?
Yeah.
Both?
Both. He was a leader. He's absolutely been a leader in that regard, and I think that's something that's very noble. But he also sabotaged his own career at the same time.
There's no doubt about that.
No doubt about it. And then unfortunately, it just became more about him than about football, and that's important. He's on this journey, right?
Yeah.
And he's doing really wonderful things, and I think that's incredible. But you can't do both. We talked about this. You can't have it both ways. And unfortunately, it was at the result was his football career.
Looking back, if you were to say, Colin, was it worth it? I don't know the guy, but I would think he'd say yes.
Oh, yeah.
I would think he would say that, but he's never coming out of that season played it down in the NFL, has he? Can't believe it's been that long.
I know. He's not going to play another down in the league.
Not now.
No.
Jennifer, watching at the Four Seasons Sports Palace, you're home for the UFC. She says both to that one. Might want to save this for Twitter in infamy. Since it is the anniversary, thank you, Brady. Was he ahead of his time, or did he sabotage his own career? What else? Oh, from the General, watching in Calgary. regarding my full dance card tonight. He says, "You're too popular, Rod." Depends who you ask. From John in Edmonton, Rod, I want to know your take on why fans are upset at the decisions made by NHL teams, 7 CFL teams, select WHL teams to only allow in fully vaccinated fans or get a 48 to 72-hour negative test result into the building. John of Edmonton, that's easy because people want to bitch. People don't want to live by the rules, and we are in a soft, complaint-filled society. That's why they're complaining. I used the driver's license analogy the other day, but I was using the speed limit analogy this morning to somebody as well. I'd love to drive 140K or 90 mile an hour. I'd love to. And I could. I'm good at it. But I can't because there is a regulation that the government's imposed for speed limit. And it's endangering everybody else if I drove that fast. I could handle it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's for my own safety and everybody else's. That's why they're vaccinating, asking you to have a proof of vaccination. The Prime Minister this morning, did you see his tweet?
No.
Was please go get vaccinated. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau tweeted that this morning. Like an idiot, I went into the mentions.
Ooh.
That's never a good idea.
Ooh.
And the first one, never, from somebody. I'm like, it's down to stubbornness now.
Yeah.
There's really no good reason not to get vaccinated other than you're not going to tell me what to do and all of that. So anyways, I'm sick of talking about that for the day. I'm vaccinated. You're vaccinated. And we get to travel. We did our show in Winnipeg. We did our show in Montreal. We get to go to games. We get to work at games. Our life's great because we went with the flow, and what was best for society was to get vaccinated. We'll be back with more Viewer Takeover. This is getting fun.
Oh, yeah.
You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube and Facebook live streaming, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445. In today's fast-paced world, we know you don't always have time to cook a nutritious meal. The Mad Greek in Moose Jaw's got you covered with delicious takeout and delivery specials, even for large groups or occasions. Authentic Greek cuisine, pizza, ribs, and more. There's something for everyone to enjoy. Offering licensed dining, delivery, and their takeout window is open to get your Greek to go. For more information and to view the online menu, visit themadgreekeatery.com.
Capital is Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalgmc.ca to see how we roll and to learn what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's exactly what you'll get when you choose Capital GMC, Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Pedersen.
Welcome back. It's Viewer Takeover. I want to tell you again, if you're watching on the Game Plus network, and I appreciate those who do, they're the ones that text on the line, 306-840-8777. And one thing I've noticed, Darren, is a large demographic of our viewers, particularly in Western Canada, are older, I won't say old, hockey guys. Because my phone's usually going off later in the afternoon with thoughts on stuff that we had said either live or on the replay, which airs at 4 p.m. Eastern on Game Plus. Run national television for 4 hours a day. How about that?
How about that?
Speaking of, I'm going to try and get to as many of your comments as I can here. From DG in Saskatoon. Morning, guys. Even as a 49ers fan, I have to give a big shout out to Luke Wilson, a longtime Seattle Seahawk. He opened the door for many Canadians south of the border with his long career. A quick glance shows 28 Canadians in the NFL. I saw 4 on Sunday night between the Chargers and the 49ers watching that game.
That's right.
By the way, from Liam Smith on YouTube, he says, so the Lions released their running back Lyles, wanting to know where they should go from here. Are they giving up on the running game for the year, or who could be the replacement? Hashtag Go Lions. Let me tell you something. As Roy Shivers would say, running backs are a dime a dozen. So don't worry about him being released. The BC Lions will be running the football, probably close to 40 to 50% of the time. They'll find another one. Christopher Ryan on YouTube says, Rod, you're sitting next to your producer and almost seem like you're both scared to get controversial live. Bruh, I'm not scared of anything. Anything. And you are obviously a new viewer because the reason we are uncomfortable talking about it is we've talked about it enough. I'm sick of talking about COVID. I've got my shots and my life's great, but I'm not going to tell anybody else what to do. I think you're too dense to understand what I said. The Prime Minister comes out and tweets to go get vaccinated, and he gets a backlash from that. It's stubbornness now. I don't think you're smart enough to pick up on what we've been talking about. Or you're a new viewer and you haven't realized how much we've talked about it. Either way, if you don't like it, shut it off. Because we will talk. I'll do the talking and you do the watching. That's the whole idea. Do you have any thoughts on that, Moose?
No, I'm good. You did pretty well. And we're out of time, conveniently enough.
For you.
I know.
Next hour, Tori Gurley. And by the way, he's not the producer. He's the owner and president and founder, right? Tori Gurley from the NFL next hour here on Game Plus.
I support you.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
At Core Grain, we strive to be the most qualified grain storage and grain conditioning experts in Canada. Visit us today at coregrain.ca. Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Our parents always taught us about the importance of quality of work and friendly service. And here at Suds Car Wash, we're a family-run business, so it's really important that our customers feel like family.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Safety is a primary pillar at Core Grain. We have core certification. Our workers are following best practices in the industry for safety. We always want to make sure that our contractors, us here at the shop, and our customers can come to work and go home at the end of every day. Give Core Grain Systems a call today.
Right now.
Obviously, I'm friends with everybody around here. So one of the security people, you give them a badge, right? And they're big shot.
How about that?
Guy was bragging to me one night. He was like, I denied John Cornish getting into Ryderville. I'm like, what's wrong with you? Who cares if he wants to cut the line? Let him in. What the hell? I'm still mad about that 8 years later. Like, what are you doing?
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
It is. This is hour 2, and we call this the second half kickoff. It is proudly presented by Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm. And I may be driving by their outfit later on tonight, trying to juggle my night, Moose.
Okay.
Things are popping up.
Yeah.
A lot of opportunities out there.
That's good.
I do want to acknowledge Christopher Ryan watching on YouTube. He has written in and said, Rod, you're still a legend because I burned him pretty hard near the end of hour 1. And I went back and saw what he said. It's just like you both seem too scared to get controversial. And that got my back up because don't accuse me of being scared of anything, dude, because the stuff that I've come back from in life would have you crying for your mommy. But he says we're all good. So it was about the COVID stuff. I'm tired of talking about it. I'm tired of talking about it on the street. I'm damn sure tired of talking about it here. I'm tired of seeing it on television. And when the Prime Minister basically got on his knees and begged people to get vaccinated today, he was like, literally, this is what it's going to take for us to get back to normal. What's wrong with you people? That it's just stubbornness that you won't get vaccinated. It's screwing up everything. And Reagan watching on YouTube says, no need to be disrespectful. This is to Christopher. This is a sports talk show, not politics. Watch CNN if you want that. Exactly. And what I loathe is when news and sports intersect. It's terrible. And it's happened so much for the last year and a half.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why tonight, week 4 in the CFL should have kicked off. But because of coronavirus, I'm not going to blame any players or anything, but Edmonton was supposed to be at Toronto tonight, and the game's been postponed because of a COVID outbreak with Edmonton. And I don't know if their players were vaccinated or not. I'm not a doctor or disease specialist, but sometimes I wonder if they know what they're doing. I'm sorry I said it. So Darren Workman, watching in Salt Lake City, says, I hope the CFL doesn't go the Pac-12 route, shuffling scheduled games with healthy teams. Utah had Cal scheduled. Washington had ASU. Those teams had outbreaks, so Utah played Washington. What a mess.
I can't blame. They're trying to do what they think is best.
Right. It's very hard to criticize them, in my opinion.
This is not something that happens often. There's no previous protocol for this, right? At this scale. So you do what you think is best. Everybody's got a different schedule. Now, some teams load up with a tougher strength of schedule because they think they're a good team and they want to move up, have a better chance of getting into a better bowl game or college football championship. Sometimes you want an easier strength of schedule so you can have a better record. So that does matter. But no, you got to do what you think is best and give the players as many games as they can. I don't think it's a bad thing, but we're all just dealing with this one day at a time.
And then I have a very tough time criticizing the CFL for everything that you just said. But the one thing that's made it very difficult to cover that league over the years is the secrecy, and we don't know. The Elks will not say what their vaccination percentage is, right? It was supposed to be minimum 85%. If they got to 85% of their players with at least one shot, at least everybody would get paid, and they wouldn't have to forfeit the game.
Right.
But we don't know because the Elks won't say what their vaccination percentage is, which tells me it's not 85%. I should have been a detective. Yeah, the general, or who is it? Oh, William in Lloydminster says, I think the Elks will lose that game. So do I. How long can they let this float? But we don't know because we don't know all the information. But now they're talking about the Edmonton-Calgary Labor Day Classic game being canceled in Alberta, and that would just be tragic. And here again, I feel for the CFL suits and the tall foreheads because they didn't think this was going to happen. From the 639, good morning, Roddy and Moose. As to my question yesterday about the Jays' younger players actually playing a full season, I was born in the 1970s and I can outwork most of the 90s, something I work with. Look at the Yankees now, being older and all. Haha, love your show. It's a hit. Keep it up, guys. Swanee from Martinsville. Oh, and yes, I know they're pros. Can you put the camera on him for a second? What are you furrowing your brow for?
Two things.
Sure.
John Kirby,
in Edmonton, viewer from Edmonton.
Mail that to us, and maybe I'll read it. On the next flight I'm on. It's a little bit long.
It's a novel.
It's a novel. The second one, I was just like, where do you come up with this stuff? The tall foreheads?
You've never heard that before?
No. 10-gallon hat, I've heard.
I got something new for you every day, my friend.
The tall foreheads. That's a new one for me.
The tall foreheads in the league office.
Just lots of brain room. Is that the idea? Yeah.
I don't know.
Smart guys. Yeah.
Oh, but yeah. Daryl watching in Toronto says the CFL just has to get through the season and the lumps work on the improvements for the league in 2022. If only it were just that easy. I fully believe that they are just white-knuckling it. I fully believe. I know they are. And it's not even their fault. Hey, attention listeners across the galaxy, all the way from Australia to Houston. Do we have a pube problem? If so, our friends at Manscaped have cleared you for takeoff with their 4th generation and brand new Lawnmower 4.0. Kick your pubes to the next planet with the Performance Package 4.0. The orbits in your pants will feel like you're in zero gravity when you use the best tools for the job from the leaders in male grooming. Join the 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped and get your rocket ready for takeoff by going to manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping with the code RP20. That is 20% off and free shipping with the code RP20 at manscaped.com. For a clean trinity and beyond, your Spaceballs will thank you. Is it too much information to say that you are watching two satisfied customers right now? And I'll just say, they sent us their gear, and it is true. It's specifically designed for below the waist, not a big facial trimmer, not anything. It fits. No clunky cords. It's got a headlight on it. Use it, order it, thank me later. That reminds me, Hustler from Winnipeg Sports Talk says he loses it every time I do that commercial read there for Manscaped. I'm going on Winnipeg Sports Talk right after this show. You know, it's, again, you're not old enough, but it's like when Tootie from Facts of Life went on Different Strokes. It's just like, mind-blowing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. As the character from the previous
Yes!
show? Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, no, the same person.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't handle this. And that's like me on Winnipeg Sports Talk today, 1:20 p.m. Central. And I have no idea what we're going to talk about. Probably the Canadian Football League. I have to, by the way, limit comments to one per viewer, okay? Because I know people are kind of getting in there thinking like it's a dialogue between us and them, and it's not necessarily that. So if you think you want to write into the show, make it really funny or witty. Sean Couturier, notification here from TSN. Philadelphia Flyers signed center Sean Couturier to an 8-year contract extension with an average annual value of $7.7 million.
He's really coming to his own.
Yeah, the Flyers are doing some interesting things.
They really are. Couturier, I remember when he was a young kid and he was, World Juniors and young, really hot prospect, and never really became that elite level player, but he's really come into his own. Really good in the faceoff circle, good defensive forward, and he can score. He's on, in those conversations for Canada's Olympic team now.
Mm-hmm.
He's coming to his own. Really good value for Philly. Really good value.
They signed Brassard yesterday.
Mm-hmm. A flyer, 1-year deal, right? Like they took a flyer on him. I don't hate that.
I was going to say
the Flyers
very
took a
punny,
flyer.
very punny. James Zylstra's watching in Winnipeg, and he says, Rod, I'll see you with Huss. Between Hustler and us, we've got 4 hours of your day covered between this show and Winnipeg Sports Talk. I think that's why they're starting to like us in Winnipeg. And that reminds me, that referee that I talked about yesterday that's not vaccinated, and I don't know if he's going to get vaccinated, probably not. But he said, in Winnipeg, they don't care where you're from. If you treat them with respect and know what you're talking about, they're good. And we've experienced that with the people of Winnipeg and Manitoba. So thank you. Hey, everybody's showing their age here. Tacona Powley's watching in Winnipeg. Says, Rod, more like Fonzie in Laverne and Shirley. LOL. Which means nothing to you, does it?
Nothing. I know who Fonzie is.
You poor kid.
I know who Fonzie is, but...
Hey, it's 11:11. Make a wish.
How about that?
How about that? Bingo. Greg Buchanan, watching in Canada's only border city, Lloydminster. He says, COVID will play a role in all sports at all levels as we go forward. People, get jabbed. Keep it up, Rod and Moose. Thank you, Bucky. Guy who's been a general manager of a hockey team before, and also announcer for the Chuck Wagons. Boy, I think a lot about that dinner that I did, and Bucky was there in Paradise Hill, Saskatchewan. Me, Daryl Sutter, Brian Sutter, Buddy Bensmiller. He's the Wayne Gretzky of Chuck Wagon racing, okay?
Right.
In case you don't know, Buddy Bensmiller. You can't say that without using a Chuck Wagon announcer's voice.
Right.
And Rachel Homan. It's where Rachel and I got to be good friends. People are writing in about this. Thank you, Connor Baber and everybody else that has weighed in. Chris Van Zyl has gone to the 6-game injured list. Bad news in Hamilton. Perennial all-star Canadian offensive lineman. Oh, boy.
I know that line. And Jaguar Davis can't play for Hamilton because of a COVID mix-up.
Mm-hmm.
So Hamilton's, they got a couple holes to fill this week.
John Kirby in Edmonton. I'm breaking my own rule here by reading more of his messages. But he says, when you went to Paradise, was it actually Paradise, Rod? LOL. It was. And let me tell you something about that. Paradise Hill, Saskatchewan. It was wintertime. You ever been there?
I've been through it, I think.
It's on the highway between Saskatoon and Edmonton.
Yeah.
You got to cut straight up about halfway through. And driving around Paradise Hill. Google what it's famous for, by the way, because I'm not comfortable talking about why it's famous. No, not you. I'm going to tell you a story here. I'm driving around Paradise Hill, Saskatchewan going, this would be really beautiful in the summertime, right? Because it was covered in snow. But whoever named it Paradise Hill knew what they were doing. And that's the home of Colby Armstrong's dad. But anyways, I stayed in the lodge, the local hotel there. So I went into the tavern. Well, what do you think they had? Mounted moose heads all over, right? Elk and cantaloupe and video lottery terminals, which I've never spent a nickel in, but it looked like fun.
Yeah.
Couple of people there, bellied up at 1 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon, wearing plaid. And I thought, I would have done a hell of a lot of damage in this place back in the day.
The muck out of place.
Would have taken a crane to get me out of here to go to the dinner in Paradise Hill. Because I would have just sat down with them, ordered a beer, and said, what's up, guys? And not left.
Yeah.
And told stories.
Paradise Hill sounds a little bit like, what was it, Golden
Prairie, Saskatchewan.
Prairie? Yeah.
Where the angels come down.
Yeah.
Golden Prairie, Saskatchewan.
With these little gems all over the province.
From the General in Calgary says, you should come to the Stampede during the Chuck Wagon racing, Rod. Put it on the list, Moose.
It's on there.
It's a long, growing list of places that we've been invited to go, which is nice. But anyways, I wanted to say that was the night that Don Cherry blew up on Sportsnet, but it wasn't, because I ended up getting in a big argument with Daryl Sutter that night about Don Cherry, because I said if he just apologized, he would have kept his job. And Daryl was like, he should be able to say whatever he wants, whenever he wants, for as long as he lives. And I'm like, I don't care who you are, you can't do that. Nobody has that license to do that. Maybe the Queen.
Not anymore.
She can't?
Nobody can. Yeah.
Is she vaccinated?
Good question. But yeah, you're right. I mean, you just can't, unfortunately. You could at one point, and Don Cherry did, and I still wish he was on TV. But, yeah, all he would have to do was apologize, clarify what he meant, and move on.
Well, in a way, I respected it.
Yeah.
He's like, nope.
He did it the way he wanted to do it.
Did it my way. Who sang it? Sinatra. Come on. I did it my way.
It's better.
Ryan McCarthy, watching in upstate New York, says, why does Saskatchewan have the best town names? Paradise Hill, Moose Jaw. Well, he says Flin Flon, and that's actually Manitoba. Home of Bobby Clark and Reggie the Rifle Leach, named after Flintabetty Floniton, which I believe was an explorer to the area of northern Manitoba. Flintabetty Floniton. Look it up. And frankly, I'm partial to Medicine Hat as a town name.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Some night I'll tell you, we got about a minute.
I did not know the Flin Flon story, by the way.
Flintabetty Floniton. Look it up. And later on in the show, I'll tell you about a little barroom brawl we got in Medicine Hat one night.
Ooh.
Oh, spicy.
It was fun. They're all fun. Tori Gurley joining us next as we'll swing it back around to NFL and CFL. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube, and Facebook Live, streaming and 24-hour sports radio for Suds full-service car wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Ultimate Fan Zone. Shop online. UltimateFanZone.ca. Slick, user-friendly. We built this site for the die-hard sports fans. Jerseys, hats, team apparel, offering officially licensed fan gear from the best lines in sports. Nike, New Era, Adidas, Fanatics. Game day ready to your door. Now, just a click away. UltimateFanZone.ca. Or check us out on Facebook and Instagram. UFC Downtown Moose Jaw. Home of everything authentic.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445. Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Laid back and kicking it, let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Just ahead of Tori Gurley, I didn't call Flin Flon a border town. I called Lloydminster a border town. Your boy Dan Ukrainitz writing in. He says there's two communities there. Anyways, the town's name, Flin Flon, Manitoba, is taken from the lead character in a 1905 paperback novel, The Sunless City, Josiah Flintabetty Floniton. Piloted a submarine into a bottomless lake where he sailed through a hole lined with gold to enter a strange underground world. Boom.
This is outstanding. Like, my mind gets blown. I've been hanging out with you for a long years and years, and I still learn new things every day.
Every single day. Okay, our poll question today, let's just update it for Capital Auto Mall, Universal Collision Center. As I lock myself out of my phone once again, Who will lead the NFL in passing yards in 2021? Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, or Josh Allen? And Patrick Mahomes is leading with 46% of the vote on Twitter and 38% of the vote on Facebook. That'd be a really good place to start with Tori Gurley, our NFL insider, Packers, Browns alum, CFL alum as well. Still looking studious, but always fresh from Hogtown. How you doing, Tori?
I'm great. How you guys doing?
We're doing well, my friend. And Patrick Mahomes is the odds leader, by the way, at bettingpros.com to lead the NFL in passing yards. Dakota Prescott, number 2, and Josh Allen, number 3. I don't think Dak's going to finish the season health-wise, though. But who do you think will lead the NFL in passing yards this year?
Yeah, it's a safe bet to go with Patrick Mahomes. You know, just thinking about the amount of weapons he has, from Travis Kelce to Tyreek Hill, McCole Hartman. I mean, he just has so many different type of receivers out there. It's fair game. And Andy Reid is his offensive coordinator and head coach. So those guys, they're going to dial it up. They're going to spin the ball all over the field.
No doubt. No doubt. So anybody, let's just say Patrick Mahomes breaks his leg, though. Let's just say he's not available. Who would be the next guy? Are you as big a believer in Dak Prescott?
If he was healthy, I would say yes, because the Cowboys are always playing from behind. So I think the next person I'll probably go with that's a sleeper might be Matt Ryan. And the reason why is because those guys play in the dome. Atlanta is always playing from behind. They want to play in shootouts. And Calvin Ridley, having their new draft pick from Florida, the tight end, I think he's going to be great. You know, that offense is just set up to, throw the ball and you never have to worry about the weather.
Tori, we wait a long time in an NFL offseason to get to where we are here. And the cool thing is they've got an extra week in between the preseason and the regular season, and that's just going to build up the hype. I mean, how are you feeling right now as we are literally like on the eve of the 2021 NFL season with all the possibilities that lay ahead of us?
It can't get here fast enough. Like literally, we're super excited. It's that time of the year where you get to sit back and you have games on almost every day of the week. From Monday to Sunday, there's going to be some type of football. And then with the CFL merging their season with the NFL, it's just literally, I'm a kid in the candy store. So I can't wait to actually have, the fantasy football going and just being able to watch, all my friends and watch these guys play in the NFL and the CFL.
What's top of mind for you? Because there's literally like the NFL's unending storylines, and I feel like the National Hockey League is the same way. What's caught your eye in the preseason so far? Anything that you didn't expect?
Two things. I mentioned this Justin Fields. We text the other day, and this guy's lighting it up. I told you he's a star. Now, the problem in Chicago is they need an offensive line. They need to get that resolved fast, because if not, that guy is going to be on the injured list. And second is Mac Jones. A lot of people thought I was crazy when I was talking about Cam Newton and how, I didn't think it was a great fit for him and he could get beat out by Mac. And now he's in position to take over as being the guy from what we're speculating from New England. He's done a great job in practice. I heard he went 35-40 against the Giants. And, this dude is just kind of building that rapport. And the thing about being in the locker room is real recognize real. When you're out there and you're balling, the guys are going to rally behind you, because at the end of the day, job stability comes with wins. If you're winning, everybody's happy. When you're losing, you're throwing people under the bus. So if Mac Jones is going to be the guy that helps New England get back to being competitive, then, hey, he beat out arguably one of the most talented quarterbacks to ever play this game. But right now, I just think he's kind of over his head.
From the viewers on YouTube from CDX Times is, imagine being a Bills fan and possibly losing your team when they finally get good. There's that. From Ryan in New York, Kyle Pitts is going to be a game changer for the Falcons offense. From the General in Calgary, I feel like too many people forget Josh Allen was almost in the Super Bowl last year. He's a dark horse for yards. As I just said, number 3 in the odds. Let's talk about your former team, the Bills, Tori. they're just going to get better, aren't they?
Yes. I think the only problem with Buffalo is they don't have two edge rushers. When you look at teams that are extremely talented who can actually make a run for the Super Bowl, you got to be able to get to the quarterback. And that's something that Buffalo doesn't have. They have a secondary, they have linebackers, but you need those ends. You know, if you look at the Kansas City Chiefs, you know, they still have Frank Clark out there, and they have another guy that plays DN. If you look at the Cleveland Browns, a dark horse team, you know, you have Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney coming off the edge. If you look at the Green Bay Packers, you know, you still have Zadarius Smith and Preston Smith. And ultimately, you got to have someone that can put pressure on the quarterback. And that's what Tampa Bay has. And that's what makes them exceptionally, you know, as great as they are. So with Buffalo, if they can find a way to, you know, get somebody to get off the edge and get those quarterbacks out of the pocket or get them on the ground, now that gives the opportunity for Josh Allen to, you know, go out there and really lead those guys to the promised land. But it's not done just on offense. You got to have defense.
From the viewers, Ryan's watching on YouTube. He says, Rod, what's Tori's take on all of the upstart football leagues? Does he see any of these ever taking off in the United States? The USFL is supposed to kick off next spring. XFL now 2022 at best, maybe 2023. I mean, you're in the world. You're in the recruiting business for players with colleges. You want to find them places to play, right? So will these leagues get off the ground and stay?
I hope so. I'm pulling for them because the NFL is the only league that doesn't have a farm system, unless if you call, you know, NCAA football. But, you know, once you're done playing college ball, if you're not, you know, the 53rd guy on a roster, you're working at Home Depot or you're working at the grocery store. So having a league like a spring league would be great just for development where guys can have the opportunity to stay here. Once upon a time, they had NFL Europe where they were sending guys to Barcelona and Germany and all these different places to be claimed and play. But now with us having it in the United States, I'm hoping that they can keep it home and allow guys to work and go after their dream without them having to make that decision on, should I hang up the cleats or should I just keep grinding and being broke? So, I'm definitely pulling for those leagues to make it happen.
From Jason watching in Hamilton, the CFL hobo, he says, "Who dat?" And I'll tack on, "Who dat say they going to beat them Saints?" This is the first year without Drew Brees in a very, very long time in New Orleans, Tori. I can't think that they're going to expect to not miss a beat. Like famous Jameis was pretty good the other night. But what do we expect out of New Orleans in the post-Drew Brees era?
I think they're in for a rude awakening. Sean Payton is a coach that he's very prideful, and he loves to run up the score on people, and they've been able to do that for a long time. So now without having your signal caller there, I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities for teams to get their get back. I think it's going to be personal. I think they're going to, once they open up with the Packers at home, I think it's going to be a blowout. You know, if I was a betting man, I would definitely lean towards the Green Bay Packers. But I just think that they're going to struggle because Drew Brees he's a Hall of Famer, and you just can't replace a Hall of Fame quarterback with Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill. Those are big shoes to fill, and we'll see how it goes. But I think the Saints are going to struggle until they figure out how to revamp this roster. Same thing with Michael Thomas. You know, the best receiver they have on the team, he decided to get surgery during training camp instead of getting surgery as soon as the season was over with. So you're missing two of your best players on the roster, and you're left with just Alvin Kamara. And I think that's a tall task for him to go out and try to single-handedly, beat teams. Man, I think it's just going to wear him down.
Here we go, folks. I'm going to say get your questions in now. It's like a slot machine going off, Tori. And Tori Gurley is with us, not just NFL, CFL alum, but you've seen him on NFL Network, ESPN, Fox, SEC Network. From Don Muir in Winnipeg. Can you ask Tori which quarterback he thinks will finish the season in San Fran? Also, let him know he's a great interview and guest. Looks like they're starting with Jimmy G. I think I'm right on that. Who do you think finishes the year in San Fran?
I think Trey Lance finished it in San Fran. I think, Rod, you and I both feel the same way about that. Just watching this guy perform over the past few preseason games, you can tell he's raw, and it's going to help to sit back and watch Jimmy play, regardless if it's for better or for worse. But I'm thinking midway throughout the year, that's when you put him out there. And, it gives them a dynamic that you have to prepare for now, someone that can, throw the ball as well as run. And now with the brilliance of Kyle Shanahan, that guy I think he's probably the best offensive play caller in the NFL. I mean, the guy can call plays. Now, what he did in the Super Bowl a couple years ago, getting cute and getting away from the run cost him a Super Bowl, cost him a ring. But the guy can just scheme up touchdown and explosive plays, and having a quarterback of Trey Lance, I think, is just going to open that offense up for the San Francisco 49ers.
Colin in Ottawa says, what about all the hype around Jets' new quarterback, Zach Wilson? Should I get my hopes up, or is this just preseason hype that will amount to more misery for us Jets fans? He's been great, Tori, and I don't care. He's got all the tools, and he's been better than I thought he would be coming out of BYU. Sorry to the BYU fans, but it is a little bit of a cupcake schedule out there. But he's been fantastic skills-wise. What do you see ahead for the Jets and Zach Wilson?
They got to get him some protection. He has a rookie coach. The front office is not that great. They trade their best players, and he really, he has a couple weapons, but they need a lot, So in that division, playing with the Buffalo, having Josh Allen, playing in Miami, you have Tua Tagovailoa, and then that's tough. The AFC East. So I think he's going to be in for a long one. Hopefully they can get it together, because the Jets have went through so many quarterbacks over the years, and you would hate to see a guy as talented go out there and just, become another casualty.
I'm trying to get as many questions in as I can from the general in Calgary. He says, as a New York Giants fan, I think Daniel Jones isn't good. Am I too hard on him? I don't think he's that good either, but I think the Giants aren't very good. And you want to talk about O-lines? I think a long year for the Giants, which as a Cowboys fan I'm okay with, but what's your read on Daniel Jones?
Yeah, he's in a contract year, and I think they're going to sit back and just wait. They're terrible. That whole division. You have the Giants, the Cowboys, the Eagles, and the Washington football team. Yeah, so it's hard to watch those guys play on Sunday because they're not working with a lot. But somebody has to win a division, and you can be under 500 and host a home playoff game only in that division.
Yes, but if you're not in it to win a Super Bowl, I don't care. And I'm not sure that the Dallas Cowboys are. But whatever. We'll follow it week by week by week. And week 1 at Tampa for the Dallas Cowboys, America's team. Jack in Calgary, Vulcan, Alberta says, what's Tori's thoughts on Reggie Begleton possibly being a starting receiver for the Packers in 2021? You following that, the former Stampeder great?
Absolutely. I pull for all those guys. So I'm hoping that he has the opportunity. As of now, Devontae Adams and Randall Cobb are there. But if he can get in the mix, man, I am pulling for him because that's a special place to play football. That's one of the best quarterbacks, arguably, to play the game. And if you can get out there and crack that lineup, he's going to have supporters all over the place.
Any last thoughts before we let you go, Tori, on the National Football League?
Nothing on the National Football League. I just can't wait to get up there and hang out with you guys. So I'm hoping this, this COVID thing, I hope it comes to an end eventually so we can literally, as I say, every time I'm on air, we got to tailgate. We got to get back out there and, Kim, and once TJ gets here, we can sit out there and have some cold ones and eat some food and enjoy each other's company.
So that's the thing, TJ? That's the thing? He's got a name? Tori Jr. is going to go by TJ?
Yes, sir, TJ.
I love it. I can't wait. Do you have a date? You're not coming out here till after he's born, I assume.
Correct.
Yeah.
So we were praying for a healthy delivery when that date. He's due November 10th, so we're hoping that goes as planned. And once we get it figured out, we can't wait to get up there so we all can hang out and celebrate.
We can't wait to see you, Tori. Thanks for this as always. Stay safe. My best to Kim and TJ, and we'll do it again soon.
All right, thanks for having me.
Tori Gurley, our NFL insider, joining us from Toronto, and his appearances presented by Wheaton Kia. You can find them at the corner of Albert and Avonhurst in North Regina. Wheaton Kia. We'll be right back with a sports update and viewer takeover and overtime. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube, and Facebook live streaming and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash. Your car deserves it at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions is Saskatchewan's only full-service supply chain company. Strategic sourcing, PO creation, and order expediting, VMI and vending solutions, and free delivery are just a few of the supply chain services we provide. If your company needs it, Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions can get it for you. Price, quality, service, Rockstar Supply Chain Solution is helping Saskatchewan companies buy better.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right. Capital is Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalfordlincoln.com to see how we roll and to learn about what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's what you get when you choose Capital Ford Lincoln, Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Oh, yeah, he's back. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody. It's just me. I think producer Clark just yelled from the back. Here we go, boys. It's just boy. Moose took off like a shot. I don't know what his deal is, but we can handle it. See, there's this empty chair with his headphones dangling off the arm. From the General in Calgary, he says, excellent guests today. I agree, but I think they're excellent every day. Let's go to a sports update. And while we do that, let's load up the text line. If you're watching on Game Plus television, please send me a note right now. It's just not if you're driving, but text me 306-840-8777. Prairie Mobile is your authorized SaskTel mobility dealer. And just ahead of that, you see Wheaton Kia, which brings you all of the Tori Gurley weekly appearances on the National Football League. Anyways, breaking news out of the NHL today. The Carolina Hurricanes have agreed to terms with forward Andrei Svechnikov on an 8-year contract, which is set to keep the number 2 overall pick from 2018 with the franchise through the 28-29 NHL season. The team said this morning the deal will pay the 21-year-old Svechnikov an average annual value of $7.75 million per season. The team has scheduled an online news conference for Svechnikov with team president and general manager Don Waddell for this afternoon. The 6'2", 195-pound Svechnikov has been a fixture and physical presence on Carolina's top line alongside Sebastian Aho and Teuvo Teravainen. So that's news out of the NHL today. Blue Jays ace Hyun-Jin Ryu starts the series finale this afternoon at Rogers Center against the Chicago White Sox. Ryu pitched 7 shutout innings to beat Detroit in his previous start, but has a 4.88 ERA in 5 August outings. Hey, Sean. Sean McCormick in Toronto says, I'm watching on Game Plus. Hell of a network. Have a great day, RP squad. Thank you, Sean, for chiming in. I appreciate that. What a wonderful television network. 107 first pitch, by the way, at Rogers Center. Mountain. 3:07 Eastern. Blue Jays and White Sox will close it out. Here's a chance for the Blue Jays to win a series off the AL Central leaders. Following an off day, Aaron Judge and the New York Yankees go for their 12th straight victory tonight when they open a series in Oakland. New York's won 11 in a row for the first time since 1985. The A's have lost 4 in a row. Puck drops today for the biggest rivalry in hockey as Canada faces the United States at the World Women's Hockey Championship. Both nations are 3-0, and the winner will take top spot in Group A heading into the quarterfinals. The Americans are the defending champions at the event. Canadians Corey Connors and Mackenzie Hughes will tee off today at the BMW Championship. Phil Mickelson missed the cut last week at the Northern Trust and narrowly held on to the 70th spot among players to advance to this week's FedEx Cup tournament. This is the first PGA Tour event in the Baltimore area since the former Eastern Open Invitational in 1962. This sports update for dubnetwork.ca, your number one source for Western Hockey League breaking news and analysis with the best team of writers across Western Canada and the Pacific Northwest. Visit today, dubnetwork.ca, and for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars, now with 8 amazing flavors, including my favorite, almond coconut, which I had one already today. RPShow viewers get 20% off with the promo code RPShow. Order yours now at g2gbars.ca. So with that out of the way, what do we have? Oh, Joe Lazito. Where were you yesterday, Joe, when we were asking for you? Joe says, Roddy, since you brought up Flin Flon, I have to bring up the pride of Flin Flon, Kenny Baumgartner. Some may say Bobby Clark, but I'll go with the Bomber. Joe, we were looking for you yesterday when we were looking for current actors to fill out the cast for the remake of the movie Slapshot. I feel like we covered a lot of ground there. Chris Dingman, the 2-time Stanley Cup champion, chiming in and saying he'd like to play himself in the remake of Slapshot. I think it's time. And actually, where is it? Hey! Hall of Famer Jim Hobson texted me. Canadian Football Hall of Famer says, watching on Game Plus TV. Hey, Hoppy. El Presidente. Thanks for watching. But I told you earlier, last hour, that I said Jim's kind of muddling up what I'd said earlier. I said our demographic seems to be older hockey guys watching throughout Western Canada. Jim's an older football guy muddling that. But anyways, former coach writes in and says Biznasty needs to be in the Slapshot remix or remake. What do you think of that, Clark? He says
How about that?
He says there are hockey stories that need to be told. Well, that's the thing. Are we doing the exact same slap shot, same storyline, or entirely new storyline with the same characters? I'm not sure. Lee Bishop's watching in Greenfield, Indiana. And he said, great show, Rod. I also learn something every day. We learned today that Flin Flon, Manitoba stands for Flint Tibeti Floniton, a fictional character from a 1905 novel. I think Joe Lazito in New York, you need to go to Flin Flon and ask them what they're famous for, and they would tell you Bobby Clark, not the beautiful and loquacious Ken Baumgartner, who, if you go to Prince Albert, to this day, they'll talk about Ken Baumgartner roaming the halls at Carleton Comprehensive High School in Prince Albert wearing a full-length black leather overcoat to class with his long, flowing, blonde mullet. They love him. Craig Monroe writes in, says, Premier Scott Moe said 9 COVID cases out of 80,000 plus at Rider games. Great job by everyone in attendance and staff. I like those odds. I just don't feel like having a COVID discussion right now. I'm not feeling it. So we'll take a timeout and come back with overtime. More viewer takeover, and we'll see what else comes up. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus television network, YouTube and Facebook live streaming, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
At Capital Ford Lincoln, we don't just sell vehicles, we buy them too. You know how we always have such a big inventory with an amazing selection? That's because we buy all makes, all models, and all years. We're going to give you the best price every time. And you don't even have to buy from us. All you have to do is visit us online or in-store, answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll get you a great offer. We'll even cut you a check on the same day. So save yourself the hassles of selling privately and sell it to us. Because at Capital Ford Lincoln, we'll buy it.
At Core Grain, we strive to be the most qualified grain storage and grain conditioning experts in Canada. Visit us today at coregrain.ca. Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Ultimate Fan Zone. Shop online. UltimateFanZone.ca. Slick, user-friendly. We built this site for the die-hard sports fans. Jerseys, hats, team apparel, offering officially licensed fan gear from the best lines in sports. Nike, New Era, Adidas, Fanatics. Game day ready to your door. Now, just a click away. UltimateFanZone.ca. Or check us out on Facebook and Instagram. UFC Downtown Moose Jaw. Home of everything authentic.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Safety is a primary pillar at Core Grain. We have core certification. Our workers are following best practices in the industry for safety. We always want to make sure that our contractors, us here at the shop, and our customers can come to work and go home at the end of every day. Give Core Grain Systems a call today.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Welcome back, everybody. Just continuing the conversation here. I'm looking at that Wheaton Kia hat on the Huskies helmet. And I just want to point out again that Wheaton Kia proudly presents the Tori Gurley NFL appearances weekly here on the Rod Pedersen Show. Anonymous texter writing Moose on the 430 from the 430.
Okay.
Here on the Prairie Mobile text line, and he says, "Hey Rod, I'm watching on Game Plus TV and also on YouTube."
I love you.
Yes. Get those numbers up there. Thank you, 430. I appreciate you doing that. Tell all your friends. Jim Wagner writes on the Prairie Mobile text line, and he says, "Another 2 hours gone by way too fast. Thanks for another great show, RP crew. Supper at the Four Seasons tonight. Thanks." This was the gentleman who was looking for the best boneless Greek ribs in town because he was taking his wife out for their anniversary. I'm telling you, the Four Seasons, for all the right reasons. Unfortunately, not a whole lot on the tube tonight, but I will tell you that the Four Seasons Sports Palace brings you overtime daily. The Four Seasons is your home for the UFC and the Seattle Kraken fan club. And the reason I say there's not much on the tube tonight, you can't watch Edmonton-Toronto in the CFL. That's a real bummer. And then the Blue Jays games this afternoon, 107 Mountain first pitch against the White Sox as they look to clinch that series against the AL Central leaders. Here's another one, LPGA, Darren, the CP Women's Open, canceled for this weekend. And it actually does dovetail into this, because I just called up the Canadian Press to see what's popping today. What's the latest since we've been on the air with Canada's daytime sports talk show? And we go to the NFL again. Frustrated as Sean McDermott has grown over the number of unvaccinated players on Buffalo's roster, the Bills coach acknowledged there's little more he can do to influence them to get the shot. McDermott told reporters after today's practice, quote, "It's tough, it's frustrating, it's challenging, however you want to say it, but I can't make the decision for them." His comments came in the wake of receiver Isaiah McKenzie revealing he faces NFL discipline for violating the league's COVID-19 protocols for unvaccinated players by failing to wear a mask inside the team's facility. Didn't you say Garrett Davis, the Ticats D lineman, he's not playing this week for breaking COVID protocols? And what really ticks me off about that, shot or not, I do know guys in the CFL that are following the protocols by the letter. I know it. There are some guys that are anti-vax and whatever. That's their deal. But at the very least, they're following the rules, right? Because I mentioned I saw players from both Saskatchewan and Ottawa in downtown Regina on the weekend, one being Cody Fajardo, who came up and fist pumped me. And when he walked away, I thought that the only way he could be doing that is that he has to be vaccinated. I didn't want to ask him because you might as well ask somebody if they're circumcised rather than ask if they're vaccinated.
Right.
So if you can't ask that. But at least the guys that aren't vaccinated, or some of them, are they're not leaving their rooms. They're not leaving their hotel room, right? They're at least following those rules.
It happened with Cole Beasley, too. He's been very vocal about being an anti-vax and not getting his vaccine. And he just got fined. I think the fine is a little bit over $14,000 for not wearing your mask properly. But let's remember, this isn't new. How many coaches got fined last season for having their masks pulled down on the sidelines or on TV and not wearing it properly?
A lot.
So this isn't new. And so the second time that you get caught not following the protocols, it comes with a suspension. Bigger fines. You could miss up to 4 games for not following the COVID protocols. So get vaxxed, don't get vaxxed. we all got to follow the rules that are set out. Be respectful of it.
Mandy in Edmonton, she says, Rod, thank you for ringing the bell for me when I had Malcolm. He's 6 weeks today. We appreciate it, and I think about it often. Thank you, Mandy, and happy birthday to Malcolm.
How about that?
How about that?
Bob's your uncle.
From the CFL Hobo, watching in Hamilton, Jason Mullis. Amazing show, Rod. Great job. I'll be watching more. Amazing. This is the first day he just found us. And the only reason he found us today was that it came up 2 years ago in his Facebook memories. We met at Touchdown Atlantic in Moncton, New Brunswick. 2 years ago today. And that was just an unbelievable time. I'd been to the Maritimes before, but never for Touchdown Atlantic. And it was just magical. And I will remember this. I could tell stories about this forever. Because Leo Ezrins, you know Leo? Uncle Leo from the CFL Alumni Association squired me about town all weekend. And on the Saturday night, the Alouettes came into Moncton early. They had a huge lobster fest, and they partied with the fans. There was no COVID then. It was a different time, kids. The Argos didn't fly in until the morning of the game. Corey Chamberlain was their head coach, and I love me some Chame, but I couldn't believe the difference in the vibe between the two teams. Kahari Jones is out there in warm-up with earbuds in. He's going through drills with his players. Have you ever seen a head coach do that? Kahari was.
He's special.
Just bopping. He had headphones in. He probably would allow players to do it if they wanted to. And then they won the game on the last play of the game. And I hung out that day with Randy Ambrosi. I met Donovan Bailey. It was all great. We got to get back. Well, not only get out there for Touchdown Atlantic, we got to get a team out there. The ultimate poll question of all time is, will we ever have a 10th team in Atlantic Canada?
I know.
And I've got to say no. I'm not joking.
It's not looking good. It's not looking good. You know, maybe that's... Did we do this? I feel like we've done this already, but that is the ultimate poll question.
We've done it many times.
What happens first? A CFL team in Atlantic Canada or a CFL team in the USA?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because I really don't know which way I would lean.
Wayne in Victoria, BC. That was another great show, guys. Too bad we can't watch the Elks-Argos game tonight because of cancellation. I'd like to say it's because they didn't get their shots, but who knows? We'll talk about this tomorrow with Mike Morielli and Chris Getzlaff in studio. See you at noon Eastern. I had this steak!